Our 2023 trade deadline previews continue once again with the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets are, of course, actually the worst team in the NHL with a 15-32-4 record for 34 points. They have scored 131 goals and have led in 198, and as I mentioned, they are dead last in the NHL. It obviously stinks getting the biggest free agent out there in Johnny Gaudreau and then being dead last in the league. Definitely stinks for Gaudreau. And it's definitely affected their cap space too. They're projected to have $256,000 in cap space. Obviously, there is a boatload of players on LTIR and injury reserve. So definitely, they have a lot more space than that. But it's not like they're going to buy because they're last in the league. And really, in all honesty, too, like, there's so many players on this team that are injured, they're not going to garner a lot of interest. There's only, like, one player that I think could garner some trade interest, but apart from that, there really isn't anybody else for Columbus. You look at their 2023 UFAs, we're going to start off with him right away. It's Vladislav Gavrikov. Obviously, a defender. He's received interest from the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's the only team that I have seen interested in Gavrikov, though. Although I would imagine there may be some more teams, because Gavrikov has kind of been tied to a couple of teams for a little bit now, so maybe he does get traded, maybe not. We shall see. Additionally, you have Gavin Bayreuther, obviously a player who I think was actually selected by Seattle and then came back to Columbus. Really strange. Then you also have Joonas Korpisalo as well, who's had a better season, but really, with Columbus, it really is kind of difficult to pick out players who have had good years. So Korpisalo is most likely gone. Gustav Nyquist as well, probably gone. I mean, like, Nyquist, really, he's on a bad contract. Maybe he comes back on a better term with the Blue Jackets, but really, I'm not entirely too sure. Nyquist might be done for his entire career, potentially. I think he is also hurt right now, so we will see. As it goes for the RFAs, you do have some more players here, and they are going to prove a little bit interesting. You have Matthew Olivier. Maybe, maybe not. He'll probably get signed to a league minimum deal because usually players like that do. Same with Lane Peterson as well. Probably like a two-way contract, most definitely, for somebody like him. Yegor Chinnikov could prove interesting. I'm kind of wondering how much he would get offered in a contract. He's definitely not going to get moved, but I'm definitely wondering how much Columbus would want to pay him. Carson Mayer as well. Definitely could prove very interesting for Columbus too. Solid defender on that blue line. We'll see if he gets signed to a somewhat decent contract. And then you also have Alexander Texier as well. Texier is kind of like a wild card with me because he's been overseas dealing with, I think, a personal matter, if I'm correct. So we'll obviously see like if they re-sign Texier. I highly doubt they do. But obviously, maybe if he comes back next year, maybe they'll consider it. But really, he's probably gonna get let go, most likely. In terms of buyers or sellers, they're obviously gonna be sellers. I mean, like, without a question. But I guess they could stay put. I mean, like, honestly, like, there's so many players injured on this team that, like, you really can't make a move. And that kind of sucks, honestly, for Columbus, because really the only player they can move is the guy I already mentioned, Gavrikov. So we'll really see what Columbus is going to do. But honestly, at this point, you got a lot of young players. You just kind of have to build the team around Johnny Gaudreau, and maybe you can get some solid assets from the Maple Leafs. We'll see. And then the final thing here, because I really don't have anything else to wrap up this video, is their draft picks. They have 1 first-round pick, 1 second-round pick, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, 1 sixth, and 1 seventh. They have no 5th-round pick. Honestly, like, I mean, really, all you really want to do is just kind of, like, grow on those draft picks, milk the heck out of the draft picks as much as you can, get as many as possible. But obviously, there isn't that many players to trade. This is already going to be a pretty young team once guys like Jordan Dumais come into the lineup. As well as that, they got some other players that could prove interesting. So yeah, we'll really see. But anyways, that's all I got for you for Columbus Blue Jackets deadline preview. Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. For all of your support as of late, I really do appreciate it. So subscribe down below if you are new. And anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.